Well, just like Bob Dylan said, the times they are a-changing. Since I talked to you just a few days ago, more cruise lines have switched to the 2-day testing cycle. Bahamas Paradise, they've suspended their cruising season, but for good cause. And there's a major cruise ship restarting its cruise operations with paying passengers today. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Well, it's September the 5th, 2021. We're progressing our way through September, and I'm only a few days until I leave for Seattle for my Alaska cruise. First time in Alaska. I'm super excited. I took the day off yesterday, everybody. Thank you so much for continuing to watch the videos in the absence of a show yesterday. Took the day off and I went with my brother and my son to Tarpon Springs, Florida, to the Replay Museum. This is a great arcade. You pay one low price, $14 per person, and you can play all day, all these classic games. And some people, they track along with it. I'll just tell you, when it comes to rivalry between brothers, we rival over Galaga. Do you remember that hit from the 80s? We rival over Galaga and Donkey Kong, and most of the time my brother is superior at Donkey Kong, and we go back and forth when it comes to Galaga, but he completely dominated yesterday with Galaga, 160,000. That's a pretty high score for us, and I was able to eke out the victory in Donkey Kong. So all was not lost in the rivalry between the Barnett Bros yesterday. We both took down a victory, maybe not the victory we thought we were going to take down, but yeah. Can you beat 166,000 in Galaga? You could have beat my brother yesterday. But a great time, a great town, Tarpon Springs, if you're ever on the west coast of Florida. A great Greek community, the Sponge Docks. Check it out. We actually saw some locafam there on the street. It was really cool to meet some folks. And yeah. A great day off. A great day off. But what didn't take the day off is change. Change when it comes to cruising. Just a couple days ago, I talked about Carnival going to the 2-day testing cycle. I talked about MSC going to a 2-day testing cycle, and even what I talked about with MSC had changed. And so since we talked last, Carnival's still on the 2-day cycle starting September the 13th. Princess, the cruise line that I'm on, 2-day testing cycle starting the 19th of September. MSC, they had published some November date. They changed the other day. They're starting on September the 13th with a 2-day cycle. And now Royal Caribbean, Holland America, and Celebrity all joining in on that 2-day cycle starting on September the 13th. It's caused a lot of scramble. It's caused a lot of panic. Again, I have a test scheduled at the airport in Seattle, but I watched a video from our friends Parrot DJ that I would recommend to you guys. They went through the home testing process, tests that you buy from a company called eMed. These are tests that are accepted by several cruise lines because they're a proctored home test. Here's the big thing about home test. If you're thinking about home test, you have to get a home test where you're actually going to interact with a person that's going to watch you do your home test. If you don't have that, the cruise lines are not going to take it. And so I ordered some of these eMed test kits. They should be here on Wednesday, and I'll do what Parrot DJ did. I'll document the process. But a good video out there by Parrot DJ. I will leave that linked in the first comment if you want to go check out their video because it really shows them walking through the process. I'm going to try that out. And honestly, if most cruise lines start accepting this kind of test, it becomes a lot easier. They got their whole testing done in less than an hour. They didn't have to go anywhere. They're heading to Alaska just, I think, today, or they're getting on a ship today or tomorrow. So we'll see if they have any challenges using that test. They're getting on with Carnival. And I've said it before, we'll say it again. Make sure you continually check with the cruise line. Just go to the webpage, get on the telephone, check some of the blogs out there to see which cruise lines are changing their protocol. It's coming hot and heavy. It's coming rapid. And especially as you get closer to your cruise, 1 week out, 2 week out, make sure you verify what your protocols are so you don't have any surprises when you get to your embarkation point. Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, we've got a big story about a cruise ship restarting cruising again, and we also have a big story about Bahamas Paradise suspending their cruise season right now, but for a good reason. I'm going to tell you about both of those stories, but before I get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you'd like to stay up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. It doesn't cost anything, and it really just allows you to be notified when the show comes out, so you're in the know. So yes, thank you in advance. All right, let's talk the big ship that's coming out right now. My favorite cruise ship that I've been on so far, Oasis of the Seas. She finished up her test sailing up there in Bayonne, New Jersey, and today, this very day, the 5th of September, she's going out with paying passengers. So another one of the cruise ships in the Royal Caribbean family coming back into service, and this one of the mega ships, the Oasis of the Seas. She's been revitalized. I haven't been on her since she's been revitalized. Got a karaoke bar. That's what keeps playing in my head, like a dedicated karaoke bar. Is anybody into that other than me? You can rent your own karaoke. Okay, look, I'm getting excited. I'm only a few days away from cruising, and well, unfortunately, there won't be karaoke on my Princess cruise, but karaoke on Oasis of the Seas. It's exciting. I just want to call it out. We got to celebrate these signals for the cruise restart, and every cruise ship that goes out with paying passengers, we got to celebrate that as a positive signal for the cruise restart. Look, let's be realist here. There's some challenges, but then there's also some moments for celebration, and I think that the scale will eventually tip where the challenges will become less and the celebrations will become more, but it's a struggle. We're fighting through it right now, and a big shout out to everybody that's getting on the Oasis of the Seas up there in Bayonne. Man, I hope you have a great, great cruise. Now let's talk about Bahamas Paradise, the little cruise line that can down there in West Palm Beach, Florida. One cruise ship, old cruise ship built 30 years ago, the Grand Classica. It was in service for Costa Cruise Lines for a long time, and then it became the main ship there for Bahamas Paradise. They used to have 2 ships in their fleet, but because of the pandemic, the Grand Celebration went away. I don't know if it got scrapped or either way, they're just down to the Grand Classica, and they have been doing their normal 2-day cruises down to Freeport and back, but they are suspending those cruises so that they can go help New Orleans, Nolans. I'll say it any way you want me to say it. They're going to New Orleans, and they're going to house workers that are in the city trying to restore power. So the Grand Classica been chartered by Entergy. They've loaded up with supplies in West Palm. They're making their way into the Gulf to get to New Orleans. And yeah, certainly there's, it's a chartered deal. They're getting paid, so there's the capitalism involved there, but also a nice humanitarian story where you see a cruise ship jumping in to help in the wake of Hurricane Ida. The initial charter for the Grand Classica is 60 days with a 30-day option. So Bahamas Paradise, their cruise operations potentially suspended for cruise passengers for the next 90 days. Boom, that's your cruise news. Let me kick the question over to you. What do you think? Are you struggling to get a test for your next cruise? What do you think about this home test? Would you give it a try? Bahamas Paradise, big ups to them going to help out. And anybody on Oasis of the Seas or would like to be on Oasis of the Seas or really anything else that you guys want to speak to, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Please hit the like button, or when you go to play track and field, they'll have the little things that make it where you can't smack the buttons really well and you won't be able to do as well as you normally do. You still may win, but you hit the like button. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.